Hello, inventors and entrepreneurs. Today we're going to be talking about copyright infringement. What is copyright infringement? How does it happen? Can it happen accidentally? What happens if you're guilty of copyright infringement? Can you get sued? Can someone shut down your YouTube channel or your social media account? What possible financial damages can you face? How can you prevent accidentally infringing on copyright? We'll be talking about those things and many more other things on this episode. So let's get started. Hello everyone, I'm Elias Borges. I'm a lawyer and I've been practicing in the area of intellectual property law for over 30 years. On this channel, we discuss tips and strategies for maximizing the value of your intellectual property so you can grow your business and build your brand. If you're new to the channel, you should consider subscribing. At any point during the video, check out the notes below because they contain additional information and links which you can find useful. So let's get started on today's topic. So what is copyright infringement? Well, copyright infringement occurs when you copy something which is protected by copyright. What's protected by copyright? Well, that's an involved topic, but basically any form of text, image, music, or video could potentially be protected by copyright. In fact, it's a pretty good assumption that everything you read, see, and hear on the internet is protected by copyright. What constitutes copying? Any exact copying of a substantial portion of a work can constitute copyright infringement. For text, anything more than a few words can be enough. For a piece of music, even a few seconds can be enough to trigger copyright infringement. But there is a very easy test to determine if you've committed copyright infringement. Did you actually copy a file? Did you right-click on some selected text or on an image and then press copy? Did you then paste that into your own document or folder? If so, then that's copying, and it's potentially copyright infringement. Also, it doesn't have to be deliberate. It can even happen by accident. For example, you commit copyright infringement if you copy something you didn't know was protected by copyright. You don't need malice or intent to commit a copyright infringement. And here's something else to consider. If you authorize someone else to copy something, then that's copyright infringement. Therefore, if you tell your assistant or your intern to copy something for you, then you are committing an act of copyright infringement. Also, the person who actually physically does the copying, they're engaging in copyright infringement as well. So what can happen if you infringe on copyright? Well, first of all, if you did this on YouTube, your video can be taken down and you run the risk of YouTube suspending your channel if the copyright owner complains. So if you commit copyright infringement 3 times, YouTube might permanently shut down your channel. If you do it on other social media outlets or on websites like Amazon, then your channel, page, or store can be shut down permanently. They usually give you an option of working it out with the copyright owner before shutting you down, however. You can also be sued for copyright infringement. Usually, but not always, you receive a cease and desist letter from a lawyer telling you to stop your copyright infringement or you'll get sued. If you ignore that letter, then you run the risk of being served with a lawsuit. And here's the worst part. In many cases, the lawyers don't have to prove damages. They can demand statutory damages instead. Statutory damages can range anywhere from a few $100s to tens of thousands of dollars per instance. If they can prove that you willfully committed copyright infringement, then statutory damages can be set as high as $150,000 per instance. In some cases, like under Canadian law, there are even criminal sanctions for copyright infringement. Copyright infringement actually is a crime in many countries. So the consequences of copyright infringement can be quite serious. So how do you avoid copyright infringement? Well, obviously, don't copy things that you know or suspect might be protected by copyright. As a good general rule, assume everything that you see on the internet is protected by copyright, because it probably is. So the first thing, obviously, is to use as much original content as you possibly can. But lots of times you need images, music, artwork, or videos that you can't create yourself. What do you do then? Well, if you do need to copy something for your YouTube channel or website, then download it from a reputable, license-free source. A list of a few of them is in the description below. Several sources exist for royalty-free licenses, allowing you to copy and use images, videos, music, and other material which you might need for free. You can also purchase licenses to use artwork, images, music, and text from licensing sites. Make sure you keep copies of your receipts, because there is a possibility that you might have to prove that you have a license to use the work. Finally, you can always ask for permission from the copyright owner. Again, make sure you keep a copy for your records, and make sure you're dealing with the actual copyright owner. Okay, so some of you are probably asking about the fair use doctrine. Well, in most jurisdictions like Canada, the United States, the UK, there is a doctrine that allows you to copy parts of copyright protected work under certain limited circumstances. Like, for example, for research, study, literary criticism, or for creating a parody. These fair use doctrines vary from country to country. Essentially, you're allowed to copy portions of works if it falls under one of these fair use exceptions. But be careful, it's quite easy to cross the line separating fair use from copyright infringement. For example, copying an image might be okay if the image is a newsworthy image and you're discussing that news story. But copying that same image would probably be copyright infringement if you're using that image to promote your product or promote your website. Remember the flip side of the fair use doctrine. It's perfectly fair for the copyright owner to use lawyers to sue you if they think you're not covered by the fair use doctrine. I know. I'm one of those lawyers. I've done it before. Well, that's a quick look at copyright infringement. Check out the notes below for additional information. If you found this video useful or interesting, then do me a huge favor and hit the like button. Okay, so here's a question. What's your favorite source of license-free images and music? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, everyone, keep inventing the future.